It's almost like the Kings don't want to be playing until June. I mean, based on their performance tonight, they didn't even want to be playing the game they were playing just then. It's getting a little frustrating, particularly when the Kings are losing to teams like the Vancouver Canucks, who haven't been a contender in like a month and a half. It was such a typical LA Kings play down to your opponent kind of game. And you knew it was going to be that way within the first 5 minutes when they didn't win a single face-off, literally 0 face-off wins in the first 5 minutes, and so spent the entire time chasing the puck. When they finally did get a face-off win, by the time the other team had already scored 2 goals, they were 9%. They lost 14 of 18 faceoffs in the first period. And if you're going to lose that many that consistently, of course you're going to be chasing the puck. Of course you're going to be behind the play. That's inevitable, and it was super frustrating. I saw it the last game against Tampa Bay, and while they managed to pull their heads out of their asses by the end of this game, or that game, well, we'll get to the end of this game. So, like I said, first period, chasing their tails. We give up our first goal, maybe like 8 or 9 minutes into it. Ben Bishop, huge 6'7" guy that he is, and that's without skates, lunges over this way, and sure enough, the puck goes in that way. Kind of an inevitable rebound goal, one that the Kings had been looking to get and hadn't even really gotten close. I'm pretty sure they had one good shift the entire first period. Yeah, it was that bad. They did not show up at all. So that happens. There's some more lackluster Kings are asleep, not really playing to their potential kind of minutes. And then they get a power play. I'm thinking, okay, well, the power play, yeah, sure enough, they proved me right on that. And again, gets is it his first penalty as a King? It might be. Either way, he goes into the box 57 seconds into the power play, so we're 4-on-4, and then 27 seconds into that, they're called again, so it's 4-on-3, and then as the first guy, Sedin, comes out of the box to bring it back to 4-on-4 for however many seconds that would have been, don't make me do the math. He comes out of the box, the pass goes straight to him as they're icing the puck, which is an icing because it's a penalty kill for them. He gets it and banks it in off of Doughty's skate. First own goal of the night, would not be the last. Yeah, 2-0 Canucks, end of the first period, and okay, it's really not looking good. They need to buck up in between the first and the second. That didn't happen. Pretty early in, they scored their third, and most people are going to blame Kempe because it got off of his, banked off of his skate. I'm going to blame the guy that was hitting his own goaltender over the head with his stick. Yes, that would be you, Braden McNabb. I'm not kidding. The puck's kind of up in the air, and instead of trying to bat the puck out, he hits Ben Bishop on his head with his stick. So Ben's ducking from his own defenseman, so of course he's not going to be in position to be able to stop a puck deflecting off his own other teammate's foot, and so it's all bad. It's just all bad. Things are really not going the Kings' way. It's 3-0. They have 8 shots. They have 8 shots and have won, again, 90-something% of the faceoffs. So, yeah, not looking good. And then we get another penalty, and Kempe tries to make up for his own goal by scoring an actual shorthanded goal, and it's stunning breakaway, really, really smart play by Kempe. Nope, that doesn't happen. Kings get another good breakaway. Nothing happens on that, and that is the 2 shining moments the Kings had in the second period, for the most part, because then they let in their 4th goal. And that was Derek Forbert not having his man, getting absolutely schooled, actually, on the forecheck there. Ends up way behind him. It's just him and Bishop. like literally this close to Bishop, and Bishop was mad. He did his best Jonathan Quick, I'm gonna throw my stick and break it impression. Didn't break it, but still. Yeah, not looking good for the Kings at all. They finally get another power play. I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be just about as good as all the other power plays. And then Andrei Kopitar scores on a power play. I think that happened last game as well, which are two things that are just so incredibly rare. And then to have them both together, I just was so pleasantly surprised. It was great. And even he just, yes, like this tiny little fist bump thing, and he now has as many goals as Flip Forberg had in 1 week in his whole season. He's up to 8, guys, so yay, progress. Oh my god, why does my team hate me? So 4-1 going into the third period. At some point, I'm hoping that they're going to let everybody fight, because they've been trying to after every whistle has been blown, and the refs are like, no, don't do that. Dude, it would have made the game way more interesting. So it still takes about half of this third period for the Kings to wake up. And of course you're not going to win if you've already given up 4 goals and haven't been playing for 50 minutes of a 60-minute hockey game. So we're 4-1, and we have 4 power plays in the third period. I'm sorry. So we've already scored on a power play end of the second. We score on the third power play of the third period. Oh my god. My favorite, Trevor Lewis. I love it when Trevor Lewis scores, because he works so hard. He gives 100% on every shift. It was beautiful. And I'm so glad that his hard work finally paid off, and you win a face-off, you win a goal. You win a goal. You win a face-off, you score a goal, is the phrase. And that's exactly what happened. And thank you, Trevor Lewis. We are now 2-4, but there's only about 7 minutes left. Like I said, the Kings waited way too long to wake up. Right after that, it almost looked like we might be 3-4, and we do another like back-to-back kind of goal thing, or 2 in really quick rapid succession. There was a lot of puck possession in the Canucks zone. They were making all the right choices. They were taking all the shots. I forgot to mention the first period, Dustin Brown actually had a great couple of shots on goal. By the third, it was Tanner Pearson trying so hard he actually broke his stick and might have scored. It was not going really well for the Kings, especially when... So we had the fourth power play with maybe like 3 minutes left, and so they pulled Bishop and tried to get the extra attacker, and kept going with the extra attacker for that last like minute or some time. And then Andy Andreev decided with 1 minute and 33 seconds left to take a freaking penalty. You know when's a great time not to take a penalty? Right when your team is trying to get back and not lose the playoff race right here. So they pull Budaj anyway, so it's 5-on-5, and we have an empty net, and Martinez manages to score, which would have been way more exciting if we had more than, say, 40 seconds and didn't have a guy in the box to be able to actually make a play in those last 40 seconds. So thank you, Martinez. Of course, I always love it when he scores, and 3-4 is way more exciting, except... like I've been saying, too little, too late. You cannot expect to pull off a comeback with 43 seconds left on the clock when one of your guys is in the box and you haven't been playing for 50 minutes of it. So needless to say, despite some of the Kings' best efforts of the game, they did not manage to pull it off, which was kind of in no way surprising to anyone who had been watching the game. And while they still sit in a playoff spot, that is only because the Blues haven't played yet. They have 2 games in hand on us and 1 point. They only need 1 point to tie us and 2 points in order to take that playoff spot. The Flames are looking further and further away. We play them 3 more times. But if we let any ounce of tonight's performance into any of our next games, it's not going to do any good. So I always try and leave on a positive note. We have some Chris Sutter dance cam. That boy is too hot.